Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to part 2 of our Evil Dead series.
Yeah.
Damn it. Damn it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it to pause. But anyway, welcome to part 2 of episode 3 of our Evil Dead series. Today we are covering Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
For your listening pleasure, once again, I am your host, The Butcher. And my host with the most across from me, who needs no introduction, Mr. Schizo the Clown.
Hi, hi, hi.
Yeah.
We got to mess with the pitch a little bit on that one, ladies and gentlemen. But, yes, so our part 1, we covered the first Evil Dead movie.
Yeah, we did.
And
it was
the
great.
second one, we are going to cover Evil Dead 2, one of my favorites.
Yes, this one was a good sequel.
To start off, a little more news for you that I wasn't quite sure of, but I just found out about that the whole CinemaCon thing is going on. Robert Eggers' werewolf trailer
Ooh.
was unveiled at CinemaCon.
Nice. I'm actually intrigued to see that.
And from what I've read, like I said, we're getting like people writing what the trailer is like. So we're not actually getting the trailer. We're just getting what people are seeing on it.
Right.
And from what I read, I'm like excited. It's got elements of The Witch.
Ooh. Now that was a good movie.
And it sounds like, I can't wait to see the trailer, because just from the description, I'm very intrigued.
Right.
And it's supposed to open, as of now, we're getting it Christmas Day of this year.
Oh.
So that's something to look out to, folks. If you've not seen any of Robert Eggers' movies, I'm sure most of you have.
Mm-hmm.
The Northman, The Lighthouse, The Witch, Nosferatu. Nosferatu was,
Interesting.
if you're a fan of the 1922, which we're going to cover
Yes.
on a later episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, drawing on conclusions. The Witch, excellent.
Outstanding. Oh, man.
Yes,
That's going to be a fun one.
We're going to cover that one.
That is going to be a fun one.
I actually had to describe that one to Mr. Kane Hodder.
Which I'm so jealous about.
At the con that I met him at, he was curious as to what The Witch was. So I gave him a brief description, and hopefully, Mr. Hodder, you have checked that movie out and you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Right.
But moving on, let's get to Evil Dead 2. One of my favorites, the first one that I saw,
Mm-hmm.
Evil Dead 1 was not readily available at the time. At that time, like a lot of records, man, like the first or second one wasn't really available.
Yeah.
It was like the second or third or whatever that was available in most movie or music stores. Movie-wise, I cannot remember when I saw the first Evil Dead, but I know that I saw the second one first. And I remember every time I go to the movie store, I would pick up that case.
Yeah.
And it had the cover on the front of the skull that said Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. And you flip it around on the back, it had a description. It had that picture, that famous picture of Bruce with the severed hand around his neck.
That's right.
And I would look at it, and I would read it, and I don't know. I'll put this one down and get something else. And I'd go back, and I'd pick it up. So I rented it. I finally said, fuck it, I rented it. Man. At the time, it was like one of the craziest. I, I, I didn't know how to describe it to people. I was
Right.
running around telling everybody about it. Dude, you got to see Evil Dead 2. You got to see Evil Dead 2. Like, at the time, that was like the craziest movie I'd ever seen.
It really, at that time, it was crazy.
It was so entertaining. It was new. It was fresh. I had never seen anything like that before, which was so good about growing up in those times. Our movies were fresh and
original,
as opposed to what they are now, which is the same old,
regurgitated.
Yeah, it was discovering new movies and things like that. And Evil Dead 2 was just one of those films that I grew to love because I'd never seen anything like that before. And so I know it's Evil Dead 2 was released March 13th of 1987. Directed, of course, by Mr. Sam Raimi, who we all know and love. It had a budget of $3.5 million. Now, that was a little bit bigger.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Than part 1. I'm talking about part 2. And
it's humorous because the production that they used to release it, they had to make themselves because it was going to get an X rating, and nobody was going to release it.
Yes, the Rosebud that you see in the beginning was not a real company, ladies and gentlemen. The MPAA gave it an X rating, and they made up the company to release it because no one would release it.
They didn't want
X rating at the time.
Yeah, because the X ratings were bad for the names.
But the shooting location for this film was Wadesboro, North Carolina. Woohoo! Home state
right up the
here.
Street.
And it starred, of course, Mr. Bruce Campbell,
yes,
who we all know and love. Mr. Ted Raimi as Henrietta.
So rough.
Dan Hicks, Casey DePalva, Richard Domier, which, by the way, the one that played the old Evil Ed, he ended up by a match on the Home Shopping Network or the QVC network, one of the two.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that. And years later, I was sitting there, and it dawned on me about that, and I turned it on, and shit, if he wasn't standing there
hilarious,
doing a thing on perfume or something, I don't know what it was, but I'm like, dude, how many people know that this dude was on Evil Dead 2?
Right.
Like, how many people, old people watching this right now, have no clue what he's, and I shit you not, he was standing right there, and I'm like, holy crap, I can't remember, this is Evil Ed.
One of the coolest deadites that ever came to be, that just had a chunk full of hair and ate it.
And also Denise Bixler and Sarah Berry starred in this wonderful, wonderful film, which we're about to really dive into.
Yes.
I don't really know if you could say it was a sequel or a redo with just a bigger budget. Some say, some of them say, well, why would this idiot go back to the cabin for a second time? And
right.
This, that, and the other. But, I say...
Well, the story changed a little bit. I think they said it had something to do with the rights from the original film or something like that. Got tangled up somehow, and they had to rewrite the story. Well, and also, the cabin did burn down, too. So.
Well, yeah, but, shooting at the same location or whatnot, as opposed to a different one. It did have a little bit of a bigger budget. Same number of people, if you will. Just added later on instead of at the beginning. They came in later on. Ash was kind of in there by himself for a little bit.
Right, and they took out Cheryl, his sister, and his girlfriend who was there. But they left Linda. That was the only one that was still in the story.
Yeah, different actress.
Yeah, I'm about to say, who was a different actress?
Denise Bixler was the actress who played that one, ladies and gentlemen. And I know they used the same necklace.
Yep.
And the same Panasonic tape player.
Yeah, which is actually Bruce's dad's recorder.
He used to record advertisements or some shit on like that.
Yeah.
And same clock.
Yeah, which they actually took that clock to a clockmaker to alter it so that it actually would operate backwards for those scenes.
See, man, that's Hollywood magic, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, and it's funny because they literally just asked him, "Can you do this? Yeah. Can you do this? Uh huh. Can you?" It's like he's worked on horror movie clocks before. Like, all right.
A watchmaker, ladies and gentlemen. Which, by the way, I don't know if any of you knew, or any of you are out there fans of the heavy metal as we are. The band Anthrax, the legend Dan Spitz was one of the guitar players for Anthrax. Left after, I want to say The Sound of White Noise, but I could be wrong. Anyway, he is a watchmaker now.
Oh shit!
So I don't know if Persistence of Time had anything to do with that, but
It'd be humorous if it did.
one of my favorite records from Anthrax, Persistence of Time. I'm sure that's probably debatable.
Oh yeah,
As
there's
opposed to
gonna be a lot
Among
of
the
debate.
Living and all that. But either way, just thought I'd throw that in there. The cabin, being in North Carolina, was on the same property as the film The Color Purple.
Yes,
Which I don't know if many of you've seen that. I have not. Now my mom is probably she's
it's
seen it. and
it's a decent film. I own it.
You do.
I've watched it a few times with my mom.
Oh, I did not know you had that in your collection, ladies and gentlemen. This is a surprise to me.
No, I have a lot of films in my collection. You would probably disown me for.
Debbie Does Dallas.
I'm not Richard.
No, that would be Henry Does Dallas.
Uh,
Either way,
ooh.
moving on, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep it working, Big Jim.
The interior scenes, if you notice the cabin very small, and then the interior scenes, the cabin seemed a little bit larger, were filmed in J.R. Faison High School in Wadesboro, which was a abandoned high school gymnasium at the time, which is still there, folks.
Yes.
And we have another plan on going. Now, I can also tell you that I've seen video on this. You can look it up on YouTube. According to my discs that I have watched on commentary, they left everything behind
Yeah.
when they filmed that movie. Now, you will not recognize it today. Do not go in there expecting you're going to see the cabin, but I tell you, you will see a lot of trash because it has
Yeah.
become a dumping ground since then. And it's still open. You can go in there, you can walk right into the gymnasium, but there is so much trash in that place.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to go just because that's where the interior shots were filmed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could find anything. If you did find anything, if you could say 100% sure this was in Evil Dead 2.
Right.
It may take some digging. I don't know. Either way, I would love to go. That's J.R. Faison High School in Wadesboro, North Carolina. I know that the one part of the gymnasium that was used as the makeup department, I think it was torn down or whatever. The concrete slab's still there.
Right.
But the building itself is not there. But that little piece of where they did all the makeup and prosthetics, the slab to that's still there. But either way, that is on the list, ladies and gentlemen, of places that we want to go. We'll touch base on cabin location later on in this episode. Because that took a while to track down, and unfortunately, it did not end well.
Nope.
But let's see. In the Force, as they called the thing that you remember
The
it
evil
was
force.
chasing them. They pretty much put a camera on 2x4s and
Mhm.
two people on either side of it, just damn ran through the woods on it.
Yep.
On this one, being the bigger budget, Sam had a motorcycle, which I don't know who thought that was a good idea.
No.
And the opening, well, not so much the opening, but in the beginning of the movie when the thing is running through the house and runs into Ash and he goes flying backwards.
Yeah.
He ran into Bruce. He broke his jaw on that.
Yep.
And then it was the last thing they shot in case Bruce got hurt,
Right. I was about
which
to
was
say.
probably a good thing. And
Yeah.
that was actually shot in Cheraw,
Yeah.
South Carolina,
Yeah. Down here.
on a road. They had to find
A mile long
road,
road.
yeah, road long enough. Now where that could, Cheraw, North Carolina, a road that I would have no idea where that is.
Right. Yeah.
I could try and look that up later, see if someone may have tracked that down. Maybe some of you out there may know where that road is. If you do, please let us know. We would love to know. Again, Facebook, The Horror Experience, and X or Twitter at The Horror XP. Let us know if you know where they shot that scene, where that road is in Cheraw. I would love to know because it would be
Yes.
cool just to see that road.
It really would.
I know it's just a road, but I'd like to see it anyway.
It'd be cool to drive down it.
And then let's see. Gosh, there's so many cool parts of this movie. That's when I learned of K&B effects.
Yeah.
Kurtzman, Nicotero, and Berger. Robert Kurtzman, Greg Nicotero, Howard Berger. More or less formed that. K&B really wasn't together when that movie started. They more or less formed that after the film.
Yeah.
But I knew after that, if K&B were attached to the film, man, it was going to be good effects-wise.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Because they did Wishmaster and a bunch of other things like later on. So I knew K&B was going to be, they were going to be like a force to reckon with. Greg Nicotero is like a genius.
He really is.
He's gone on to do a lot of The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Many of you out there, which I'm sure a majority of you out there watch The Walking Dead. I watched it from season 1 to damn near the end. I know some of them got lengthy. Some people walked away from it because it was just getting a little bit too. I stuck with it, ladies and gentlemen. But to be honest, I haven't watched the spinoffs. Kind of when The Walking Dead died, I just kind of quit watching it. Which, to be honest, if you are a Walking Dead fan, they do tours in Georgia because a lot of it was filmed in Georgia. They do tours. They do tours of the prison. They do tours of Woodbury, which is actually a town in Sonoya, Georgia. They have an actual Walking Dead museum and store. I don't want to go in there.
Right.
Terminus, I think it was. They give you a tour of all the sites where The Walking Dead was filmed. So it's around, Atlanta, Georgia area, and all that stuff. That's one of the things I'd like to do. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. But so you could probably look that up. I'm not sure the website, but I know they do tours. I think they still do. They may not, but you can look it up. Hell, just look it up. Walking Dead tours. I'm sure it'll lead you to it.
Right.
The one scene I thought was really cool when Ash, once he flew through the thing and they did that.
And he's circling around and around.
Yeah, well, they did the close up of the eye.
Oh, yeah.
It was a gigantic eye with the head and all, and then they injected milk.
Yeah.
Into the lens,
To
which
show
made it
the
look
change.
like the film over. Dude, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Like how they did that, how they injected the eye and everything. That was really neat. I know they said they had to put some kind of dye in the water
Yeah.
because they didn't want it to be dirty water. Get it because of those contacts, the way that
Yeah.
they were, so he wouldn't get like an eye infection or get some kind of irritation or anything. Which
Right.
poor Ted Raimi, I don't think they thought that far when they did his scene. We'll get on
No.
that a little bit later.
Good God. Poor bastard.
But there weren't a lot of trees in the area, so they made them.
Yep.
A lot of the trees. I wish to God I would have got one or a
Mhm.
piece of one.
Yeah.
We'll touch on that a little bit later.
And it's humorous because you can tell when they're in the scenes because they won't pan up so far, but even when they pan back, you can see there are trees that aren't complete.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that movie. If you look close, you can see it.
Yep.
Like even in the cabin, the certain shots, if you look up, you can see the top was
Of the
gone.
set, yeah.
Where they had made it on the inside, you see wires hanging down and everything. But it's again, that movie couldn't have been done any better.
No.
Even with that, I mean, it couldn't have been done any better. And I mean, there were a lot of mishaps on that, just like in the first one. We forgot to mention that in the first one, where Bruce couldn't get his jacket on.
Oh yeah,
He couldn't get his sleep when Cheryl was wanting to leave the cabin, and he's trying to get his jacket on, and he couldn't.
And he had the pan is what saved him. He's like outside. Oh, now I've got my jacket on.
Same thing kind of happened in Evil Dead 2. When they showed the scene of the plane landing, and Rob Tappert was the one, if you look, he's the one trying to open the door on the plane. He could not get the door open.
Nope.
Like, he was sitting there. If you watch the movie, and it's so funny because you watch it now, and all you do is you focus on Rob trying to get the door open.
Yeah.
And he can't get it. He's sitting there and he's fiddling with it. I mean, he's doing his best. He's trying his best.
Come on.
But that's so funny because, and then again, the cut kind of
saved him.
But in this one that you didn't have in the first one, again, a little bit of a bigger budget.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a little more of professional stop motion.
Yeah.
One being the scene of Linda after he had lopped her head off and she comes back from the grave. The little dance sequence was Sam's old high school drama teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Choreographed the dance scene, and they shot it. They shot her dancing it, and then gave it to the animator who recreated it. Yeah, who recreated it frame by frame to get that dance, the dance sequence down, which I thought was really cool.
It is.
And then, but when Linda got decapitated in the head scene, and then Bruce is on his knees with a pair of fake legs.
Yeah.
Denise Bixler is laying under him with her head poking up through the fake legs or the lap, if you will, which was probably very uncomfortable for them both.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure that wasn't in one shot.
No, I'm sure they did a number of takes for that.
And then where he bit onto his hand, and that was actually attached.
Yeah.
They attached it to Bruce's hand.
So it wasn't going anywhere, yeah.
Flying around and damn banging it into shit, which was freaking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was funnier than hell. And he's sitting there and he's beating it with the book. And she's just like trying to get it off.
Fighting it harder and harder.
And what was it? He said he was somewhere when he was outside, and he says, "Work shed."
Oh yeah, he was on.
And
he was with Kurt Russell in Escape from L.A.
And he said, "Say work shed."
Yes,
because they had to overdub it or something. So when you look in the movie and he says work shed, his mouth don't move.
Right.
You just hear work shed, and I thought that was so cool that Kurt Russell, of all people, looks up and says, "Say work shed."
Hilarious.
Freaking awesome, man. Which, by the way, we are still waiting for our copies of The Thing Unleashed, which should be
here soon,
April,
at
May.
The end of the month. Yeah,
they're saying it may be sometime in June, maybe hopefully sooner. Ladies and gentlemen, as soon as we get that, as soon as we review that, we will be doing an episode on The Thing Unleashed.
Yes.
And The Thing, so stay tuned for that. Another quick advertisement from our sponsors.
Boom, boom,
okay.
Boom.
We're on there. Now, to go back to Evil Dead 1, and we mentioned to you the Hills Have Eyes poster.
Yes, we did.
The whole Jaws thing, and then the Hills Have Eyes, and the whole Wes Craven deal. So how this all ties in together. If you look closely in the first shot where I think it's Linda comes through, her decapitated body comes busting through the door with us all over her head. You look
above
to the
door.
left.
Oh.
Or was it above the door on that one?
I believe
There's
was
two
above
shots in this movie. There are two shots where if you look, Freddy's glove, that shot when she busts through the door, there's Freddy's glove.
There was one above the door and one to the left, I believe.
And there's one when he goes down into the fruit cellar, there's another shot of Freddy's glove.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how that came to be, if you all remember the first Nightmare on Elm Street, when Johnny Depp is laying there watching the TV, what is he watching? The first Evil Dead.
Yep.
So the first Evil Dead, so then they put that into Evil Dead 2. So again, that ties in all together to Sam and Wes kind of going back and forth, and it all started with the whole Hills Have Eyes and then the Evil Dead thing.
Yeah.
It just kind of grew into that, which I thought was really, really cool. So they just threw each other stuff in the movie. And then, well, the whole part when Linda's body came through the door, the funniest part about that is when you see the behind the scenes, she's like a puppet on a stick.
Just a puppet.
And he's laying back on like a skateboard, more or less.
Uh-huh.
Kicks the door open, and they pull him through, and he's just kind of boing, 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 bobbing this thing up and down. And, of course, Sam's like, now violently, beat him with it. Beat him harder, because he loves to torture Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce will admit that. I mean, he absolutely loves to torture Bruce on the sets. Any chance he gets, he'll torture Bruce.
Like when Bruce was on that contraption spinning upside down and all around, he was getting hit with the tree branches. Oh, yeah, Sam, first in line to start beating the shit out of Bruce with those tree branches.
Oh, when he's, that scene where he's trying to get away in the beginning, and he's driving down the road and the branch comes through the car, that was Sam. That was Sam hitting Bruce with the branch.
That's right.
But Sam was always there to make sure Bruce caught the torture. He always liked to torture
the blunt end of the stick.
And Sam was also the voice behind a lot of the weird noises, even in Evil Dead 1, which I forgot to mention. A lot of the odd, strange noises that you heard, even the Force and things like Sam was usually the voice behind that.
Right.
And which was really, really cool, I thought. And then the part that always got me, the parts that got me was when Ash was first alone in the cabin.
Yeah.
That were the parts that really got me when I first saw it, because I'd never seen anything like that before. Like I said, I had not seen the first one.
Right.
Okay. I had not seen the mirror when he sticks his hand in it and it's like water and all that.
Yeah.
I had not seen that yet. Okay. So I'm going off of 2. And then they got that mirror scene, and they had a local college student play Ash.
Yeah.
For that. Of course. And you can, when you watch a movie, you can tell.
Oh, yeah. Most
Like,
definitely.
When it comes, the chin is much more defined.
The crimson chin.
And he's almost got a unibrow.
Yeah.
It's like, you could really, really tell that it's not the same. Like, the guy standing toward his back, but like they did way more on Bruce than they should have.
Right.
And it just made it look so funny and silly, but it works.
Oh, it does.
I mean, it's still a great scene. I can't complain. But that was another funny thing that's, one of the great scenes of that movie is, we just cut up our girlfriend with a chainsaw.
Uh-huh.
Does that sound fine? And then he's sitting there, he's looking, and then he pants back, and he's choking himself.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, that was the craziest shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd never seen nothing like that. Like, that was just, my mind was just trying to catch up with the movie, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? The one scene, I forgot to mention, let's go back, when he's sitting in the chair and the whole Linda thing happens.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah, the scream.
It's like, there's so many classic Bruce Campbell Ash scenes in that movie.
Yeah.
My favorite Ash of that movie, the favorite Ash reaction of that movie is when he's in the fruit cellar.
Mm-hmm.
And Henrietta comes out of the ground. That scream he does for Sam, like, okay, scream like a girl now. Oh my God.
That was some of the
To this
best shit.
day, I bust out laughing when I hear that scream. He nailed it. Scream like a girl. He nailed it.
He did.
That is so
great.
freaking funny, man. Another classic Ash moment in the Evil Dead 2. And oh, the another cool thing, if any of y'all ever noticed or picked up on it, is one of the coolest things. The other thing that I thought was so cool in this movie when I first saw it is when his hand got possessed.
Yes.
And he's sitting there in the kitchen and he's beating himself up.
Yeah.
And then he knocks himself out, and then his hand sees the meat cleaver. So then his hand starts pulling him over closer towards the meat cleaver, and you get that POV shot of him pulling.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that had never been done. I never seen anything like that. Man, it
Right.
was so freaking cool. It was so,
Yeah.
holy crap, what am I watching? And then, of course, right when he gets up on it, he stabs it,
Yes.
with the knife. Who's
awesome.
laughing now? And he
Yeah.
fucking cranks the saw up, saws his own hand off, there's blood squirting all over his face. Dude, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
What is
It
this
was
about,
beautiful.
dude?
Oh, man.
That was so great.
Yeah.
Like another great moment in horror history
Yes.
was the sawing off of the hand. And then the blood flood
Oh, man.
scene
That was a
where
great
the
scene.
hand goes run, which that was one of the funniest daggum things.
Yes.
And the one part which you remember where the hand's running across the floor when they had the floor built up just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and they had one of the guys underneath because they had a whole thing built underneath the cabin. So they could like stand underneath and do the effects. They had the one guy with the hand was running across the ground.
Yeah.
And of course the rest of it was stop motion. They actually did that in Evil Dead 1 too that we forgot to mention.
Yeah.
But now that wasn't as, how would you say?
Advanced.
Yes, advanced, as they literally had to pull up boards.
Have
The
holes
people
in the
had
ground.
to lay down, and then they had to put the boards back over top of them to do the
Yeah.
one scene. Of course, when they cut Shelley,
Mm-hmm.
when they, and you see that part where he's already cut her up. Scott's cut her up, and she's laying there, and her head's bobbing, and her arms kind of moving up, and her legs. That's that scene where they had different people underneath the floor, moving
Yeah.
the arm and the leg, stuff like that. But they pretty much literally had to pull all those boards up, put the people underneath it, lay the boards back down, and then do the scene. Evil Dead 2 was a little bit more advanced, where they had a whole system built underneath,
Yes.
where they could do that a little bit better. But then some of it, of course, was stop motion animation, as you could
Right.
see.
Mm-hmm.
The whole part when he gets caught in that mouse trap and he laughs at him, it flips him off.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Oh man! And then, of course, the Farewell to Arms,
Mm-hmm.
the book. He sits
Yeah.
on top of the can. A
Yeah.
lot of people notice or don't notice. Another classic. And then the other scene. What was it? It was after the blood flood, and he goes, how did it go? Right before he's getting ready to sit in the chair, he's
Before
like,
the
"See if we don't." And he goes sits down in the chair, and the chair breaks.
right.
The deer head
Before the laughing scene.
turns and starts laughing at him,
Yeah.
and then everything else starts again. I'd never seen nothing like that.
Right.
I'm sitting there thinking, dude, this is the craziest movie I've ever seen. This
Yeah.
is absolutely nuts.
It's-
And that scene
Was humorously inspired.
had various crew members that did the laughs and the books and the
Yeah,
the,
they
and the
literally
sets,
had
and then
everybody.
Again, how did that get started with the lamp?
Yeah, how that scene actually got started was Sam, and I forget who the other guy was that was with him, but they were missing with one of his gooseneck lamps, one of those necks with the bendable necks and whatnot, and he did a Popeye laugh with it. Sam, oh, we're making a scene out of that. Like, yeah, whatever. Next thing you know, boom, every single person in the crew has to have a spot missing with books, moving something back and forth and making a laugh with it. It was great.
See that, ladies and gentlemen? One small little idea can grow into a huge classic scene,
Literally.
just like that. And we are grateful for that because that was one of the greatest scenes. I'm sitting there thinking I'm watching this, and I'm like, for the first time,
Right. Yeah.
what in the hell am I watching? This is the craziest. And of course, he just starts laughing with it because at that point, if you put yourself in Ash's shoes,
Insanity will take over.
what
at
else
that
do
point.
you have left? You
Right.
might as well just laugh with him because shit, look at all this other stuff that just happened to you.
Right.
I mean, because that's about all you got left. Just go, well, hell, I might as well just laugh with it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Such a classic scene. And then the knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything shuts down. He lops, 2 shells through the door.
Yes.
Then everything's quiet. And you got that long, quiet part. He goes up and he looks and he drops back. Then, of course, here comes Hicks through the door.
Yep.
And if you recall the scene, which really sucks for Ash, too, and I always said that, because she's there she doesn't know any of this is going on,
Right.
okay? And she's there to see what Professor Raymond Noby, that's her father,
Mhm.
so she's coming to see him to okay, they found the rest of the page of this book and this dagger and all this stuff. And so she, walks into the cabin. She's been trying to get a hold of her parents. She can't get a hold of them. She walks in. There's Ash. There's no one else to be seen. And then there's a chainsaw sitting there with blood underneath it.
Yep.
Instant guilt.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no way around it. You're automatically going to get nailed for that.
Oh, yeah. By
You know,
association.
like, this dude ain't been through enough.
Not
and
yet.
now all of a sudden, now he's going to get in a fight. And the scene where he's already unconscious. And then Danny Hicks comes up and kicks him while he's unconscious in
Yep.
England. They cut that scene when he gets kicked while he's unconscious because the rule in England, evidently, is that you cannot kick a man when he is unconscious.
Which is humorous.
I did not know this.
I didn't either.
Perhaps the Englishman might know this.
I asked. He said he didn't know either.
Englishman, if you're listening to this,
We are greatly disappointed.
those of you out there don't know who we're talking about, but is someone we know. We call him the Englishman. We can say this because his real name is hidden, so you do not know his real name. We call him the Englishman. He is the Englishman. And the Englishman, well, all I can say, Englishman, is yes, we are greatly disappointed. So if you're listening to this, or you say you do, you better give us a good rating, because if you don't, we're coming for you, dude.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Ah, there's that burrito again.
Pardon. Okay. Yes. The instant guilt. I got that. Yes. Ash is screaming the fruit cellar. Freaking classic. Now let's get to it. Henrietta.
Oh, God.
Henrietta was played none other than Mr. Ted Raimi, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
That poor man.
The younger brother.
What he had to go through
Yeah.
to do that film. He lost because they had him in that full latex suit, that whole prosthetic from head to toe. Everything was covered.
Yeah.
He was losing pounds by the day.
Because his skin couldn't breathe. Like,
I mean,
they literally cut off his breathing supply.
They had to put certain things that they had made, certain prosthetics that were made out of gelatin, they had to put in the refrigerator because it was like, what, they say, like 120
Yeah.
in that gymnasium. Because you got to think, it's an abandoned gymnasium. There's no AC. There's no airflow. There's no nothing. You got this set built. It's enclosed.
Mm-hmm.
You got no airflow.
Nope.
It's hotter than shit. You've got heat lamps and everything like that.
Yeah.
We know a little about that.
Yeah, we do.
We've been we'll cover this later too. For those of you who do not know, I have been working on a film for year and a half, 2 years. I brought you in
Yes, you did.
partway through. We have worked on it together. We did a scene in it was a part of a high school that was abandoned. We were getting into a shootout. And this part of the building had no AC. It was the middle of the summer, and the scene called for this was supposed to be in the winter. So we had to dress like it was wintertime. So we're in all this stuff. We're in all this tactical gear and everything else with the lighting and everything. You talk about hot. And we made the joke of, okay, so it's supposed to be wintertime when this building, but every one of us is pouring with sweat.
Right,
So it's like, yeah, I understand the lighting and everything being in the club. It is freaking hot.
Yeah.
It makes it that much more hotter. The movie and series that we are talking about, we will discuss later on in another series.
Yes.
That we've been working on and we are a part of. Hopefully it's going to come out. They've been working on it forever.
Yes, they have.
I don't know what's going on with it. I know that I've been working on it for a long time. And I brought my colleague here, Mr. Schizo, in later on when him and I became friends. I said, hey, man, I got this little film that I've been working on. They're looking for extra people. You want to be a part of it?
Hell yeah,
And
brother. Let's do this.
Brought him in, and he was in. So he is also seen firsthand. And I'm telling you, folks, if you ever get a chance to do it, if you ever see a call to be an extra or whatever on a film, go do it.
Yes.
If you're a lover of films, it is really, really cool to see behind the scenes. But I will tell you, it is grueling, hot work, depending on what time of the year you're shooting in.
Yeah.
A lot of waiting.
Yeah.
A lot of,
God.
Holy crap, that one scene we did in the cabin where we had to do that one thing over and over and over and over and over. We'll get into that later. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I tend to lose myself. Back to the task at hand, Evil Dead. We'll talk about our film later on.
Yes.
I actually talked to Mr.
Really?
Executive Producer about getting him director on, about talking about that.
Oh.
So I don't know if I forgot to tell you about
No,
that.
you didn't tell me
I
about
didn't
that.
tell you. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll talk about that a little bit later off mic.
Alrighty then. Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mentioned that to him, and he's like, yeah, okay, cool. So we'll cover that later, folks, and we'll keep you up to date.
Yes.
Moving on. Yes, that was it. The necklace on the floor, if you look really close before Evil Ash, after he changes, breaks down, is in the shape of a skull, which is really cool. And there's another cut scene right before that where Ash eats a squirrel, but they cut it.
I was about to say, well, they cut the hell out of that.
Yeah, have you seen that footage?
I haven't seen that one.
I have it on one of my discs. I don't know if it's the Blu-ray or the regular. I've got it on one of those.
Right.
And yeah, it's like, okay, I could see why you cut it. It really didn't have any
no merit to it.
But you can see, like, if you look real close, speaking on that, because that reminded me of something, they use those contact lenses again.
Yeah.
Those glass ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the scene when he first gets possessed, he becomes Evil Ash, and he goes to reach for her head. You look close, they had to grab his arm and guide him to her head because he couldn't see.
Right, no.
Yeah, like you were saying, you're completely blind. And they're glass contacts. They're completely, you cannot see anything.
Right.
So they had to guide, he was like reaching for her head, and he's kind of
feeling
doing
around
it, and
in the darkness.
You see someone, they had to grab his hand and put it on her head so they could do the shot. But a lot of it now, at the very end, now this is really cool. Now, I wish I would have been the one to find this, because like I said before, in the commentary, they left everything behind when they quit. Of course, this has been, 87 when that came out? The Rotten Apple Head, as they called it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The scene at the end Did you guys remember when she's reciting the pages
Incantation.
to send it back, and the big, huge head thing busts through the door and it's chomping? That was the rotten apple head, and that was left behind, and someone got it and used it at a local haunted house in Wadesboro.
Which is awesome.
Which I wish I would have been the one to have that. I would not have used that in a haunted house. That would have gone in my personal collection, folks.
Right.
But who's to say if the thing exists? Because when you make stuff out of latex and stuff like that, if it's not kept properly, man, it deteriorates.
I was about to say,
bad.
yeah, it's probably all
I
kinda
saw
gone.
a shot of the Michael Myers mask from '78.
Yep.
It looks horrible. Like it looks hard, like latex.
Damn.
I've had some cheap masks before that I've gotten from whatever store, and they don't hold up.
Right.
Like if you don't mess with them, you go to touch them, you go to try to move them around, it's almost like it pulls apart. It's
Oh,
yeah,
God.
they just don't last over time. Which I was about to get on another rant. I'm not going to do it. We're going to move on.
Fight the urges.
Okay. Fighting the urges. And now we get to the very ending where the cabin starts coming apart.
Ah, yes.
She recites the passages. The little whirlwind thing starts. Everything starts coming apart. The cool part of that, all the sounds that you hear, that they got permission to destroy some abandoned house in Florida.
Yeah, that was
And
awesome.
they went in there with damn hammers and axes and just
All
tore
kinda
the house.
shit.
So all the sounds and stuff you hear, that cabin and stuff coming apart at the very end, you just got to picture Sam and Bruce and all them in some abandoned house in Florida just destroying
Right.
it and recording it to get the sounds, which would have been great fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And which is really cool because if you think about it, how they did it in the first one, how they did it in this one, and so on, they're carrying that over into these new Evil Dead movies that are coming out too.
Right.
Just like I said, Evil Dead Rise, that sound with the eyeball was Bruce biting into an apple.
Yeah.
They're still carrying that tradition on.
Yes.
I applaud them for that. That's why y'all are some of the greatest. And I can't wait for these new ones. We're going to touch on that, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Until then, I knew that, let's see, the ending was at a gravel pit somewhere in Wadesboro. No, I have seen video
Mm-hmm.
of people going out to that gravel pit, but then they don't say an exact location, so I don't know where that is.
Oh, damn.
Wadesboro, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, it's not very far from here. When I touched on the first episode when I did some paranormal investigating, I went and did an old nursing home in Aberdeen, North Carolina. We passed through Wadesboro to get there. And I didn't realize it at the time, and all of a sudden we're riding through there, and I see a sign, "Welcome to Wadesboro," and I'm like, "Oh, shit, Evil Dead 2 was filmed here." I wanted to stop so bad, but it was getting late. It was actually starting to sleet that night, too, on the way. There was
shit.
oh, God, it was so cold in that place. But, man, what a cool investigation. That was, yeah. I don't want to, if I get into that, we're just going to go on a whole nother thing. But
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, that was, what I found in that main room was very strange. I did not touch it. I did not move it. I took a picture and I backed off, and then the stuff I heard upstairs, and okay. Moving on. If you guys would like to hear a little bit more on that, which we're thinking about doing a little bit of a show on some paranormal things, some local legends, some scary tales, personal experiences, how it ties into horror movies. We're thinking about doing that for our upcoming episode. So if that sounds interesting to you,
Let us know.
oh yes, let us know. We would be glad to cover that. Try to give a little bit of variety to the show, if you will. Try
That's
to give
right.
a little bit of a freeway. moving on to the gravel pit, the North Carolina National Guard came for the Army.
What?
Yeah, they recruited the North Carolina National Guard that came. You know how he goes back in time. He's down on thing in the whole all those nights. Those national,
Yeah.
a lot of those were National Guard
That is
from North
hilarious.
Carolina.
So hilarious.
With, of course, yours truly. If you recognized it, the one night that you see the one is Ted. He doesn't lift his mask, but they say you could tell by the way he walks is Ted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the other one that, hail he who is coming from the sky to the lift, none other than Mr. Sam Raimi. Which, I mean, you can tell. You look at his face and you can hear it. He's got that distinct way of talking. That's Sam.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, that movie, oh, God, man, it was, I think it was ahead of its time.
It really was.
There was nothing out there like it.
No.
If you'd not seen the first Evil Dead, I had not seen the first Evil Dead. Again, it was like most movies at the time, Texas Chainsaw and a lot of the other movies. The second or third ones were available. The first, second, and you couldn't find them until later on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, I always held on to that movie. It was just so special to me because I'd never, again, I know I keep saying it, but I'd never seen anything like it. I still haven't.
Right.
There's nothing out there that matches it. And I had been to the first location, and I always wanted to see the second one. And there were not, like, you could go online, excuse me, and find exact directions.
Yeah.
To, the first one. But you couldn't for the second one. And I never understood why. And I searched and I searched and I searched. And I knew it was in Wadesboro, but I'm like, where in Wadesboro?
Yeah.
Many years ago, and I don't know, you people around my age probably, and I'm not going to give away my age. Y'all are probably going to figure out my age by the time all this is over with, certain things I say and bring up. Who remembers chat rooms on the internet?
AOL.
There was one, and I don't know if it's still up or not. I don't know. I think it was like deadites.com or something. It was it was a place for Evil Dead fans to come and talk about the Evil Dead films. And I just got on there just to see, and I noticed someone had a picture of the cabin. The picture, I found it like, a week ago or something. I showed you. This was the picture that I found. And it was a picture of the cabin. It was overgrown, like you could barely see it.
Yeah.
But it was the cabin. And I tracked that person down, and I said, oh, man, I'm getting close. And I said, could you tell me exactly where this picture was? Oh, I got this from a friend of mine or somebody else. This is there. So I got in touch with that person. It took me a while.
Right.
And then come to find out that person got it from somebody, and they didn't know, they lost contact with it. I ran into a brick wall. And so many, many years later, and I tried everything I could. And then when the Blu-ray came out, it had an extra that said "Return to the Cabin." So I bought the Blu-ray just for that. The second I got it home, I couldn't get it open soon enough. Put it in the player, went directly to that, and watched it.
Yeah.
Oh man, lightning had hit it at the time, so some of the roof had caved in.
Yeah.
But they were panning the camera through the window. There was one of the breakaway doors laying on the floor, and I said, "That's mine. That's mine. I'm getting it. That's mine." I don't care if the thing's going to hardly fall in or not. I'm going in. And so I watched the credits on that, and I saw a special thanks to the people who own the property. So I got that name, did some research on the internet, finally tracked down their information. But about the time I did, and I said, okay, I want to see if I can get permission to get on their property to see the cabin, I come across something else that had said that land had been harvested for local business. The cabin was no longer there.
Lame.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you try to go find the cabin, it's gone. I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to give you the proof here in just a second. I was heartbroken. I still am. I'm still, God, if I would, I've seen Google Maps aerial shots of the cabin. I mean, I had them. I screenshotted them. I was so freaking close, and I didn't know if I would have. It still bothers me because I've seen people's collection who have been there.
Right.
They have pieces of the cabin. They have the coal that Linda was buried in.
Right.
They have pieces of the fake trees. Damn it! Why not me? I have my Evil Dead collection over here that I'm looking at with the nice little various flashing lights going from shelf to shelf, and my ultimate Ash figure, and yes, which I tell you, people, when I put that shelf together, there's not much Evil Dead stuff out there. There's more Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, figure-wise and collectible-wise, than there is Evil Dead. Now, they have just recently put out that Evil Dead and Cheryl figure combination.
Yeah.
Well, not recently. It's been like a year or so. That I need to get. Even the posters were hard for me to track down.
Right.
The right size that I wanted. I like a specific size. I'm very particular on what I want to put on. I put Evil Dead on one side, Evil Dead 2 on the other side of the shelf. Some of the other stuff I just happened to come across. The little Evil Dead postcard I got over there, literally found at an antique shop up in North Carolina, my favorite antique shop when I go to see my mom.
Yeah.
If you were ever in, and this is not a sponsor, but if you are ever in the town of West Jefferson, North Carolina, may I recommend Antiques on Main. Wonderful antique store, big. They've got a lot of stuff in there, man. I got the I think it's a Todd McFarlane in it. The Monsters Series 1. I've got all 4 of those. I got Frankenstein, I've got Dracula, the Hunchback, and the Werewolf. It comes in a set of 4. I got all 4 of those from that antique store at a good price.
Yes, he did.
They've got a lot of cool stuff in there. Antiques on Main, West Jefferson, North Carolina. Not a sponsor, but just thought I'd throw it out there. A lot of these things that we mentioned we're not sponsors of, but you know what? We like to throw those names out there because, hey, if someone throws our name out there, we appreciate it too.
That's
so
right.
Why not? Though we do have a sponsor of the old energy drink kind. Some of you may have seen that on our page if you look at our X feed, The Horror XP, or Facebook, The Horror Experience. You might see an advertisement for a little energy drink thing there. If you click on it and use the code TheHorrorX187, you shall get 10% off of your order.
Oh, boy.
A little bit of thing that we've kind of delved into, that we've got a little bit of a sponsor we signed up for, but hopefully that will grow. We'll get more sponsors and things will keep going. As long as you keep liking us, folks.
That's right.
You keep spreading the word. You keep giving us good reviews. We do appreciate it. We love each and every one of you.
That's right.
We're a big family, and let's keep this ball rolling. Now that I'm getting back on track, the cabin, or what is left in it, and the work shed. A guy knew that guy that had the property. Called him and told him what was going on. He came and took everything that was available. He has rebuilt this and took it on tour.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, as I know, I think it's at the mall that Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, I can't remember right now, damn it.
Monroeville Mall in Pennsylvania. The one that the original Dawn of the Dead was filmed, the mall that is still there. They've been trying to tear it down. There's been a petition up. to not tear it down. Actually, Ken Foree was part of that. If that petition is still up, you people need to speak out. Do not let them tear that mall down. Monroeville Mall, it's got a museum in it. It's all Dawn of the Dead featured. It's still a functional mall, but it is Dawn of the Dead featured with the Dawn of the Dead. This guy, as of I know now, that display is at that mall. You can find that information out at evildeadworkshed.com. That is his website. Well, he will tell you the whole story of how he got everything, how he put everything together, how he's got everything on tour. I wish it was me.
Right.
I was so close. God, if I would have just... Either way, this guy, hats off to you, man, for doing it.
Yes, sir.
That's evildeadworkshed.com. So look him up, and he'll tell you the story, and he'll tell you where it is now. I think he said he takes it on tour. The last I read, it was at the Monroeville Mall. So either way, and then of course, one of the best featurettes in the business on discs, I think, is the Gore the Merrier featurette for Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
You just recently saw it.
Yes, I did. Man.
I don't know how many times I've watched it, and your take on it.
Dude, it's the things that it teaches you on how that movie was made is just crazy. They're like, oh yeah, we did all this. Yeah. Well, we did everything before CGI. So fuck all that.
Oh yeah.
See, stuff like that is why I prefer movies like that, because they're really acting. They're actually putting forth the effort to entertain us. Not be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, button on the computer. Okay, step to the left. All right, cool, we got it. The computer will fix the rest. No, fuck that. They're actually like, 10 steps that way, jump up and down. All right, cool, you did that. Now watch out for the hole.
And I think that's how movies are a little bit more rushed.
Yes.
Now, because it's a lot easier to do digitally, but I also think, now some of you out there may be more into this than I am. You may know more about the industry than I do, so forgive me for saying this. I would almost think, from what I have heard, that digital, coming in with digital effects and coming in with digital fillers and everything, would be more expensive than practical, just for the simple fact of what Adam Green once said on the Hatchet thing. When Kane went haywire and he's supposed to catch on fire and he ripped the suit, he had to digitally go in and put flames over that, which cost a lot of money. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be covering the Hatchet franchise later on, so stay tuned for that as well.
That will be a good one as well.
And we also want to know, Mr. Adam Green.
Sir.
Where are you, dude?
Right.
We miss you. We're worried about you.
Like you fell off the map.
Yeah, we're huge fans of yours, man. I know he's been working on some shark movie. It sounds very interesting. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it. But Adam just kind of fell off of the thing. If someone out there knows a little bit more than we do, or knows
something,
yeah, I mean, we're huge fans of Adam, man. One guy I'd love to have on the show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would love to have Adam Green on the show, man. Absolutely. He's a cool dude, man.
He thinks outside the box.
Yes, he does, and that's why it works.
Yes.
But yeah, man, Evil Dead, it's funny how this movie has grown. So many years you didn't see any Evil Dead stuff at all. You never saw it. Now you see it everywhere. Evil Dead lunchboxes, Evil Dead shirts, Evil Dead this, Evil Dead that, mask, fake chainsaw you can put on your hand. It makes noises and da 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 da.
Yep.
Man, back in our day, you did not see it.
No,
and
I'll
never forget. And I've told you this story before.
Mm-hmm.
My ex at the time, we dated back in high school and stuff. I actually showed her Evil Dead 2 in 9th grade, and she became a Evil Dead fanatic. She went to New Orleans, actually, with her sister, younger sister, who I watched grow up, and if she ever hears this, they went to New Orleans to meet Bruce Campbell, and I told him, you better tell him that if you didn't know me, you would never know about Evil Dead 2. Now, whether or not she did, she probably didn't.
Probably not.
If it wasn't for me, she would have not known about Evil Dead 2. She became an Evil Dead fanatic. So, 1 year for Halloween. Now, this was back in, it's back in the late 90s. We decided to do her as Ash.
Mm-hmm.
So, all we had back then, we did not have DVDs. We did not have Blu-rays. So, we had VHS. For those of you who know, to pause a VHS on a scene that's not jumping around and clear.
Damn near impossible.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we had to work with to put this costume together. Many hours of that. Many hours of going to Goodwills and thrift stores. Put the costume together. Built the harness he had by hand. Sewed the straps together. The rings. There was one split second they show his back.
Yeah.
It took probably an hour to pause it.
Oh, I believe it.
And it still wasn't that clear to get what his back looked. Because a lot of those scenes, he said, to put that gun in the back, someone had to stand behind him to grab that gun because he wouldn't always hit that.
Right, because he couldn't see it.
Yeah, he'd always to someone to stand behind him to grab the gun to give the effect that he's putting it, in his thing,
the holster,
the old boomstick, if you will. And watched the video. Took what used to be Cinema Secrets. For those who may not remember, I think they're still in business. I think they're under another name. Cinema Secrets was back then. I remember when I was really getting heavy into makeup. Like the old Halloween Express and stuff used to actually do makeup clinics, like little makeup demonstrations. I went to every one of them, man, that I could. Because I wanted to know more. So I learned a lot of stuff. Blood gel was like the stuff to use, man.
Right.
It was a little more expensive, but it looked good. It had the right coloring. Didn't look like the Walmart shit. As soon as you put it on something, it turns pink. It runs. It looks like crap.
Right.
When it dried, it looked wet. I mean, it was great stuff.
Yeah.
So watch the videos, paused it, did all the scars and everything like that. Tried to find the boomstick, like a fake one, to paint. Was very hard to find at the time.
Yeah.
We just had to find what we could. Could not manage the chainsaw on the hand. That was back then almost impossible. I couldn't.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure that one out. So we just bandaged up the hand like he did right when he cut his hand off.
Yeah.
Okay, bandaged it up just like he did in the movie. Dirtied it up. I mean, put the rip in the pants, everything, man. And damn, it looked good.
Yeah.
Went out trick or treating and everything, and all we got was, "Who are you supposed to be?" What? What do you mean?
That hurts.
We spent all this time. I mean, the hours and hours of trying to pause the damn VHS and trying to sew this together and put this. You don't know who it is. Now, if you were do it today, oh, that's Ash from Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows. Back then, nobody knew who the hell it was.
Right.
That's how much this movie has grown.
Oh, even the actors and actresses are surprised how much this movie had grown because it was literally nothing when they came out. Then they turn around and like, we're being invited to conventions. People want to see us. Lines around the corner.
The guy that played, damn it, good old Scott in the first one.
Yeah.
Richard, which changed it to Dow Hemrick or something, was some kind of college thing or something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
He did his stage name, but anyway,
yeah.
When he went to his first convention, he's like, I didn't understand. There's like a line around the building to meet me, and I don't understand why, dude. Because you're a freaking legend, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
You're Scott, for crying out loud. You're the guy that wanted to be a little bitch and go, well, I don't care what happens to you. You take care of her. I'm getting out of here.
That's
like,
right.
What a freaking wimp. I mean, even Bruce called you out on the commentary, man.
Then came back. Save me, Ash. Don't let me die alone, Ash.
Yeah, he goes, when I pulled that thing out of his side, everybody thought I was pulling out his member. No, it was just a stick pulling out of his side.
See,
Going back to Evil Dead 1. Another thing, see, people, That's why we were going to do all this in one, because one was going to blur into another because of the way him and I talk. We just start.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You were saying?
Well, see, like with that, I always found it humorous. Like, how did they confuse that? Because I always knew it was a piece of wood being pulled out of his side.
I did too.
I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I did too. I didn't understand that either.
It's not properly positioned to be
No.
member related.
I didn't understand that either. I don't know why either. Like, that was odd to me. It's like, I don't know, like, it looks like a stick. It's coming out of his side. I don't know how you could confuse that.
And then again, to go back to the first one, how they always made Ash just fall down with one piece of wood from the bookshelf. He's struggling with it. It's like, oh, I'm so weak.
Oh,
the bookshelves.
Yeah, that was another thing. You noticed the evolution of Ash, man, from the first one to where he's cowering in the corner. Like, my favorite part where after Shelly gets possessed, Scott hacks her up, and he's standing there, and you see Bruce standing over in the corner with the axe in his hand, just standing against the corner, not moving.
Right.
It's like, we got to bury her. You can't bury Shelly. She's a friend of ours.
So what? She's fucking dead. Bury her.
Yeah, I know. And then the shelf falls on him and everything else, and it's like, even Bruce said, I thought maybe he should just be knocked out.
Right,
try to
it
come
would have been more
and then
appropriate.
Yeah, because that little shelf falls on him. It's like, come on, man.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's like that, and you see the evolution of Jason.
Yeah.
Through the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
And the second one, it was like, dude, he was like so weak and didn't know what the hell he was doing. Maybe he was harnessing his craft, and the farther he went, he got. Which, again, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to touch on the Friday the 13th series. That one is going to be a doozy.
Yes.
So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. That's going to come later on in the year. We're hoping to maybe do that around the Friday the 13th, the last one of this year, which is going to be in November.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that one's going to be a little bit of ways away, but I'm telling you, folks, it's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah.
And you definitely want to stay tuned for that one because, boy, we're going to cover that one. The inconsistencies of that movie, there's plenty of them.
Yep.
And, of course, all the other crap and the trashy remakes. I'm not going to get on it. If I start going on it now, I'm not going to shut up.
Put the soapbox away. Put the soapbox away.
We haven't got on the soapbox yet, folks, because the movies we've been covering, we love.
That's right.
But it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It is coming, and we may be doing that on the next one with these rant and raves. I don't know. Him and I are going to discuss off mic what we're going to be doing.
That's right.
Coming up. But you definitely want to stay tuned. We just covered Evil Dead 2, folks.
Yes.
Next, we are going to be covering The Army of Darkness on part 3. And we're going to dive into a little bit of the remake and a little bit of Rise and what's to come.
That's right.
In the Evil Dead franchise. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us again.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
We are the Horror Experience. We hope we have entertained you this evening. And again, after you listen to us, once you stop screaming, you'll start talking about it. Thank you.
Thank you.